All right, we're here at the Competitive Enterprise Institute. It's the afternoon of December 5th, 2006, and we're here with our senior fellow, Marlo Lewis. How are you doing, Marlo?
Very good, Richard. Thank you.
So we just watched an episode of the Oprah Winfrey Show featuring Al Gore, global warming crusader, and he was talking about his film, An Inconvenient Truth. Now, Marlo was able to be on the show via previously taped segment for a couple of minutes, but there's a lot of other stuff that Al Gore said that Marlo would like to respond to. So, take it away, Marlo.
Well, thank you, Richard. Yes, I criticized the film on several counts. I mentioned that recent studies of Antarctica show that the continent as a whole is gaining ice mass, which means that Antarctica is actually contributing to a reduction in sea level rise. I also pointed out that there is no scientific study that warns of a 20-foot sea level rise in our lifetimes or the lifetimes of our children. Also that Greenland today is losing ice at a rate that translates into about 1 inch of sea level rise over a century. Also that the rate of global warming of the past 30 years is constant and modest, and means that a reasonable guess is that the warming of this century will be rather modest, and that global warming is simply not a catastrophe in the making. There is no scientific evidence that it is. So Mr. Gore responded to those points by first saying that Greenland and Antarctica are wild cards. In other words, he really didn't respond to my point that his doomsday scenarios are really no better than science fiction. Then he said that nobody really needed to take what I said seriously because I work for an organization, the majority of the funding of which comes from pollution, and I'm not exactly sure what he meant by that, if he means energy companies. At one time, our funding from energy companies added up to about 10%. It's smaller than that today, but that's certainly not a majority. And besides, that's an ad hominem criticism. That is not responding to what I said on the merits, but saying don't listen to him because of who he gets his money from. This is a very convenient argument for some people to make because what it amounts to is saying that the market need not participate in the marketplace of ideas. My organization, the Competitive Enterprise Institute, is a free market public policy group. That means we neither seek nor accept funding from government. If we don't raise the money in the marketplace, we can't participate in the marketplace of ideas. Finally, I would just like to note that Mr. Gore made it seem painless, easy, and even profitable to dramatically reduce carbon dioxide emissions in the United States and all over the world. What he doesn't mention is that about 71% more energy will be consumed in just a few decades, by 2030, worldwide, than is consumed today. This is according to our own Energy Information Administration. About 3/4 of that increase will come from areas of the world which are today trapped in energy poverty. I'm talking about the developing countries. And the lion's share of that increase in energy use will be based on fossil fuels which emit CO2. There is simply no way to dramatically reduce global emissions of CO2 without condemning much of the world to poverty, misery, and backwardness. 1.6 billion people on this planet have never even flipped on a light switch. Another 2.4 billion get most of their energy for heating and cooking in their homes from traditional biomass like wood or agricultural waste and even animal dung. These folks breathe air that is 3 to 37 times dirtier than the most polluted air in the most polluted cities of the world, and a little fossil fuel in their lives would go a long way to enhancing their health and their lifespans. And that is an inconvenient truth that Mr. Gore never addresses. Thank you very much. And if you'd like more information about the Competitive Enterprise Institute and our views on Mr. Gore's film, go to www.cei.org. That's cei.org. I have a book-length commentary on an inconvenient truth called A Skeptic's Guide to an Inconvenient Truth, and you can find it there, cei.org.
Thank you very much, Marlo.
Thank you, Richard.